what we do here is go back.
There we go. Nah, do you reckon that's worked? Probably. Who knows? This is the world of the internet. Anything is possible. Probably isn't working. But anyway, we'll carry on regardless. Hopefully the stream will catch up very shortly to what I am saying. So, good evening. It is Saturday, the 15th of February, 2020. Yay, I actually got 2020 right. I normally say 2019, but it is 2020. We've not gone back in time. How are you all doing tonight? It is the Saturday night live stream, and first of all, I'll apologise to all of you for those that have missed the last couple of live streams, because unfortunately I've been a little bit sick. Got a bit of the flu and got a bit run down and all that kind of usual stuff that happens this time of year when we don't get any sunlight, especially those of us in the UK, where it is mostly dark, wet, dreary, and not great. So hopefully over the worst of it now, feeling kind of 90% fit. I did actually manage to also do my back in at the same time, which is why you might see I'm at a different level. So I'm now on my little revolving chair to try and help my my back recover. So, am I a bit too high there? What the heck? Anyway, I like playing with this chair. It's good fun. So yeah, hopefully I'm relatively fighting fit now. Who knows? I'll just carry on regardless. What the heck? Ah dear, yeah, hopefully my voice will be enough to get through this, and also I won't have to go and blow my nose or take some tablets or grab some painkillers. If you see me wincing slightly, it's because my back is still playing up a little bit, so please do bear with us. And for those of you that join us, tonight we'll be doing the giveaway for the promised Creative Pebble V2s, which we'll be doing a giveaway a little bit later on, so if you haven't already subscribed? No, that's not a word. If you haven't already entered the competition to win them, head over to our Facebook page, just type in Mike's Unboxing, or you can check out the link in the description, which Kath has already kindly put in and pinned to the comments, so you can check that out. So if you want to be in it to win it, go ahead to Facebook and put a comment on the video, or on the post for the video for that. You know what I mean. Basically, put a comment on there. A little bit later on, Kath will be doing her magic and going through and picking a winner at random. So it could be you, or you, or you. Who knows? Anyway, hopefully that's got that out there. So let's say some quick hellos to those of you that are in the chat already. Now, obviously, this is a live stream, so if you're in the chat, make yourself known, say hello, ask a couple of questions. Tonight, we've got no fixed agenda, which is probably no surprise to most of you, because that's generally what happens here at Mike's Unboxing. We just go with it. I sometimes get an idea and think, yeah, I'll do that, and then I go completely off tangent, and we do something completely different. But if you've got any questions or comments or anything that's bugging you, just let us all know, and we'll try and answer your questions. So, first of all, we've got For the Lols. Says, looking good, Mike. Well, I'm still alive. Yep, still got a pulse, and yeah, watch says I'm still alive, so yeah, we're doing good. Struggling. Still got a bit of a temperature at the moment, which is really weird because it's absolutely freezing. In a moment here in the UK, we're in the middle of the Storm Dennis. We've just had Storm Kiara, I think it was it Kiara? Yeah, Storm Kiara. Now we've gone straight into Dennis, or Sierra, whatever it was. And yeah, the weather is set to get worse, so...
Dennis won't last long.
It's ridiculous. It's actually quite nice to have this really strong wind because it actually cools me down a little bit when I'm having hot flushes.
Dennis won't last long because it's a man.
Yeah. Kath says Dennis won't last long because he's a man.
And would he really have let Kiara go first?
Throwing a little bit of sexism into the chat straight away. That's what we like to see.
But would he put
so we've got
Kiara first?
Captain Meets Adventures is in the house as well. Says, glad you beat the C virus. It wasn't the coronavirus. Although it actually felt really, really bad. I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older, but these colds and flus seem to really be taking quite a hold. When I was younger, I could have a cold, couple of days later, back up, no problem at all. But this one's taken a real toll on me. But it's been good because I've managed to catch up on some TV watching, which I haven't done in years. It's been ridiculous how long. I actually sat down and watched the entire series of Under the Dome, which if you haven't seen already, it's on Amazon. If you haven't got an Amazon Prime account, sign up to Amazon Prime, use our affiliate links, all helps the channel. But it's a really old program actually, Under the Dome. Sci-fi thing, so some of you might like it, some of you won't. But I watched the whole thing. It was like 36 episodes. Each one's like about 3/4 of an hour to an hour long. So I couldn't really move a great deal. My back was done in. I felt like crap. So I started watching that. That's actually really good. So if you're feeling bored and you've got nothing to watch and there's nothing on YouTube that tickles your fancy, try Under the Dome. It's pretty good. You might like it. Sky Stalker says, hello, and sounds like a plan. That was into my let's get ready to rumble. You can't say that actually. Did you know that is actually a copyrighted phrase? If you actually say that phrase in a live episode or a live broadcast, which I just actually did, you're supposed to pay royalties to the guy who actually said it for the first time. Bizarre. Anyway. Matthew Day is in the house as well. He says, will the voice hold out? I don't know, but we'll do our best. Well, I'll do my best. If not, Kath will take over. Who wants Kath to take over? Give us a thumbs up in the chat if you want Kath to take over the reins for the show. Captain Meets Event. I saw Captain Meets Adventures released a couple more videos this week, and I do seriously worry for your sanity. I genuinely do. We got Meg's Visuals is in the house. Good evening to you. Letta is also in the house as well. How are you doing? Hopefully you're all doing well. Sorry, Kath, what was that?
How's our headset? Megs?
Oh yeah, Meg, how's your headset? How's that holding up? Are you enjoying your headset? For those of you who are wondering what the heck I'm talking about, Meg's Visuals actually won a giveaway a little while back for one of the headsets we did. I'm not sure which one it was actually. Can you remember which one it was, Kath? I can't remember.
Yes, FX ones.
Not too sure. But hopefully you're enjoying the headset anyway. Alexa says, good to see you up and about. Well, I'm kind of up. Up and about almost. I'm getting there. 90% odd. Getting better, and the back is recovering. So actually on tonight's stream, I was really wanting to do a live build in the new case which we reviewed, which actually some of you found really good, and it's had some really good views actually. And that was for, can't remember what it's called now because I couldn't say it, the GameMax White Diamond, or White Diamond, or Diamond White, or whatever.
Diamond Whites, that's what I used to drink.
That actually is a pretty phenomenal case for the money. Very pleased with that. It's quite an unusual one. Normally when you get a case, it doesn't really matter who it's from. If it comes through and it's cheap, you think, this is going to be a cheap case, and cheap cases generally aren't very good. But pleasantly surprised, the GameMax White Diamond was very good. And actually, thank you to Ghost Adder, actually, who's a member of our Discord forum, which if you're not a member of already, feel free to join us up. And also, actually, to those of you in the Discord chat and regular members of the Discord, as some of you already know, some of you possibly in the chat already, a lot of the equipment that we're getting sent for review, I'm actually passing on to Discord users for pretty much what it costs to ship. So if you've seen something unboxed on Mike's Unboxing and you like the look of it, and I'm not using it, then drop me a line, and you never know, I might be able to send it to you for kind of postage and packing cost, that kind of thing. Obviously, if you're in other parts of the world, like the States, Australia, India, wherever, it's not always quite as easy, and sometimes it's actually cheaper to buy it off Amazon or wherever yourself anyway. But if you're in the UK or Scotland, Ireland, Wales, whatever, or nearby-ish, then yeah, feel free to drop me a line, and if there's something that I've got that you like and I'm not using, then yeah, you can have it. So, that's that out of the way. So, yeah, don't forget, join us on our Facebook group, page, channel, thing, whatever, and Discord as well if you want to get involved and have a chat. It's been a little bit quiet actually on the Discord recently. I think it's a bit like that everywhere at the moment. Everything's a bit weird at the moment. We've gone past that Christmas time and the New Year where it's all festives and people's been spending money and buying stuff. But February is always a little bit of a downer, really. There's not a great deal happening. Oh, and it appears we have got a super chat come in. I'm not sure who that's from because I haven't gone all the way down through the listing. Oh, Captain Meets Adventures has sent us £2 UK and says, glad you're back. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Kath's turning off the lights now. There's such a delay actually. I noticed on the YouTube screen there's about a 30 or 40 second delay, which is a little bit weird. But anyway, so thank you very much for that. Who else is in there? So we've got Angry Doge is in the house, Ghost Adder's in the house as well. It says yo. Ghost Adder, I'm not sure if you're male or female. It's a little bit confusing, I've got to be honest with you. So Ghost Adder, he or she recommended or was asking questions about the GameMax case. So we reached out to GameMax and they kindly agreed to send us one for review. And yeah, I'm actually really glad you did. So yeah, not a bad little case actually. If you're looking for building a PC in a ATX form factor, and you don't have a massive ton of money, but you want some RGB and you want some tempered glass, and you want a slightly unusual look, or a different look I suppose I should say, in either a black format or a white format, then yeah, you can do a lot worse. You genuinely can. Very, very, very pleased with that case. It's quite compact as well, so if you're limited on space, again, another really good option. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review of that, and I don't think I actually left anything out of the review, but if I did, feel free to either let me know on that video comments or let me know now. If there's any questions you've got on that case, I'll be happy to answer them. Skystalker says, Vancouver's the same, snow, then constant rain, slush, bleh, sucks. Yeah, it's rubbish, isn't it, the weather. I'm just so longing for the spring and the summer, and hopefully this year it'll last a little bit longer. Get some sunshine, dry everything out. Like in the UK at the moment, for those of you who live in the UK, especially if you don't live in like south-facing areas or where the sun comes up, there's loads of like green moss everywhere and kind of mould and mildew in this. It's just really horrible. I just want to open all the windows up, get a load of fresh air in, but not have to freeze my little lady's testicle off at the same time, because that's just never a good look. But yeah, bring on the warmer weather, definitely, and some sunshine. That'd be really nice. So if any of you want to, get me anything for our upcoming birthdays from me and Kath, then some sunshine would be fantastic. If you can arrange that, that would be great.
A bit of sunshine, but that cold wind with it.
And Ghost Adder says, are you feeling better? Yeah, a little bit, getting there. Angry Doge says, hello all, and hello Mike. Hello Angry Doge. Meg's Visuals, Mike, are you able to recommend any good mouses or mices under £30? Well, actually, funny you should mention it. I've got two on the desk. One, which, well, actually, I could recommend both of them. The Riotoro Nadix is a new one, which has just come out, which has been sent to us by those lovely people over at Riotoro for review purposes. And I'm actually using that at the moment as a daily driver over on my video editing PC, which hasn't seen a lot of action the last few weeks, but what I have used of it, very, very impressed. Nice mouse, very good tracking, lovely RGB features, adjustable DPI as you'd expect on a sort of gaming mouse. But yeah, for me, I find it really, really comfortable. The scroll wheel is just in the right place. Playing some Counter-Strike last night, CSGO, absolutely brilliant. Very, very responsive. It worked really, really well.
Gameplay was rubbish.
The gameplay was rubbish because it is me, but at least the accuracy was there. Another option is the Corsair. This is the M55 RGB Pro, which I actually saw on Amazon. This at the moment is about £22, which for a Corsair mouse is actually really good value for money. Again, RGB, adjustable DPI. The one thing I find about that, for me personally, obviously it may not be the same for you, but I found that the scroll wheel was a little bit too far forward. Now I know that sounds like a real kind of nitpicky thing to say, like it's a scroll wheel. But if you're a gamer, a scroll wheel is really important, whether it's for zooming, whether it's for changing weapons, or whatever it may be. For me, I find it difficult to use, especially coming from the Nadix, which I actually found fitted my hand perfectly, as did the previous Riotoro, which is the Aurochs mouse, which was really good. Sorry, Kath's put me off there. Yeah, the Riotoro mouse, for some reason, I don't know why it is, just the design of them, they seem to have the scroll wheel in a perfect position for me. Now, I've got relatively short, stumpy fingers, so maybe that may not be the same for all of you, but if you've got slightly bigger hands or longer fingers, then you might find that the Corsair mouse actually suits you better because that mouse will be in further forward. Another one actually which comes to mind is the GameMax Strike gaming mouse, which actually is a lot cheaper. You're looking at about £10 for that one, 10 or £11. There's places like Overclockers and CCL that do them. You can get them on Amazon, all that kind of thing. That was actually a really good mouse as well, and I found that one to be pretty good. Between the lot of them, I would say probably probably at the moment the Nadix is the one that's taking the top. The Aurochs is very good, and I have used that an awful lot. But for me at the moment, the Nadix is really good. It isn't an ambidextrous mouse, it's designed for right-handers, but even with me being left-handed, no problem at all. And I actually found the little ledge on the left-hand side where you'd normally rest your kind of palm there, or whatever that part of your hand is. I find actually, I used it to sort of rest my pinky finger on, and it actually had a really nice balance to it. So even though it's not ambidextrous, it works for me like an ambidextrous mouse. So hopefully that gives you some options. And actually another option would be the Cooler Master, the Master Keys Lite 3.1 set, which is a mechanical keyboard and mouse set. The mouse on that is actually really good, a little bit smaller. So again, if you've got kind of stumpier hands or fingers, I find with that again, the wheel isn't just about the right place. So there you go. Hopefully that's given you some food for thought. And if you do choose to buy anything, feel free to use our affiliate links. Every little helps. Ghost Adder says, where are you from? We are from the Bristol in the United Kingdom, which I'm sure the accent may have given away slightly. For the Lol says, oh, I love the Pebbles. The Pebbles are a really good speaker. They're one of those underrated speakers, I think. They've been on the market for quite a while, especially the originals, which are these on the bottom. This is the V2 version here, which is the USB Type-C version, which gives you a little bit more power output and a little bit louder, a few more little features, but essentially they're the same thing. Yeah, they're really good sound, really good. The first video actually, I was surprised by the responses to it. People really did appreciate the review and also the quality of the speakers. And again, for less than sort of, I think they're about £20 at the moment here in the UK, which isn't a lot of money, especially for a reasonably good set of speakers. Captain Meets Adventures. Mike, thoughts on GeForce Now versus Google Stadia? Truthfully, I haven't used Google Stadia because I don't like I don't like paying for subscription services, especially when I own the hardware. Now, for people that don't have the hardware, I can completely understand it. Maybe you're a console player and you want to get into PC gaming. It makes a lot of sense. But I think for the majority of people using gaming PCs, like I've got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 gaming PCs or PCs that are capable of playing kind of AAA titles. So to pay extra money to play those games on another device somewhere is a little bit of a kind of a wasted outlet of money. I could put the money somewhere better. But having said that, I did test the Google, sorry, not the Google Now, the GeForce Now platform about a week ago, I suppose it was now. And actually, I thought it was okay. I played some Rocket League just to see what the latency was like and the lag. Now, I did find that when I did the test originally, now this is actually something that may, actually some of you can try this out for yourselves. If you download the Google Now application or app, try it and do the speed test on your local network and see what kind of responses you get. Now, I found that even though I've got plenty of bandwidth, it wanted, I think it's 15 megabits per second as a minimum, and we passed at about 60, so we had no problems there. Latency, we had very good latency score. I think we had about 12 milliseconds, and they rate that it should be like kind of 20 or less or something, so or 40 at a very maximum. So we passed that with no problems at all. But I did find that there was a massive amount of packet loss. Now, the packet loss can be up to 2% is the kind of cut-off point, and I'm at 1.5% packet loss, which I haven't investigated too much because I've been ill and obviously stuff like that, so it's not been kind of a priority. But I've got a week off next week, so we're going to be going through and doing all these little things which take a little bit more time to try and work out what is going on. Whether or not it's going to be from my switch, there's a switch over in the corner of the room, which is an old 10100 switch. It's a very cheap switch. It cost like about £5, 10 years ago. So it is.
In the 1930s.
Yeah, back when all this was fields, when we bought it, it was black and white, and it's a rubbish switch. It's 10100, so it's way underpowered for what we need and for what we use bandwidth wise. So I'm hoping that is going to be the problem. But let me know if you do the speed tests on your systems. Are you coming back with satisfactory results, or maybe you've tried it as well? Let me know your experiences. I did find that the graphical setting was actually pretty horrendous, and it looked like it was kind of maybe 480p, 720p maximum. It is quite a big monitor. I've got a 32-inch monitor, so it is a 1440p, so It is slightly pixely anyway, but the games did look very kind of as if it was running like a Vega 3 or Vega 8 onboard graphics. So for me personally, I wasn't particularly impressed. The gameplay itself was fine, and there was no obvious dropouts or lag or latency issues, but the graphical fidelity was way off, and I was much better off just playing it on my 1070. So, okay, let me know what your guys are thinking about it. I think it's a good idea, and I think it's a very handy thing to have, especially where you can get the free subscription. So if you've got like a half an hour or an hour and you just want to play some games for a bit on a system, whatever it may be, fantastic. And one thing I actually find is really good, if you've got, say for instance, most of us have got Steam game libraries and you've got tons of games in there which you don't always have them all installed because they take up tons and tons of room. But say for instance something like Doom, which is like 60 gigs, if you install if you install the Doom game through the GeForce Now service, it's like that. It takes milliseconds. So it installs the game, downloads all the files and gets it all ready in probably about 5 to 10 seconds. So if there is one of those games on your system which you really like, but you just don't want to wait for that 60 gig or 40 gig or whatever size download it is, maybe you've got really poor broadband and it's just going to take you forever to download those games, then I can see GeForce Now being a really, really good option. So you can play all your favourite games on your Steam library, well, apart from the ones that have been taken away by Blizzard and Activision, but that's another story. But you can play your games that you've downloaded or you bought, whatever. That, for me, is one of the key points. Dying Light I wanted to play, which I hadn't played in ages, and it took me, again, like 10 seconds to install it. It was very, very rapid. So for that point of it, I think it's absolutely brilliant. And for those that haven't got a lot of time, but you just want to get in and play a couple of games, brilliant. The free service, well, it's free. What can be better than free, apart from them paying you to play it? I think for that point of it, it's brilliant. I am very tempted to do a full review on the free version. I don't know whether there'll be enough people interested, because I think most people will be interested in the paid service. But, okay, let me know what you think. Yeah, lots of thumbs up for Calf taking over. Aletta, oh, where are we? Sorry, I'm missing out all of your comments here. I do apologise. I went off on my own little rant, so I do apologise.
MIKESUNBOXING said the left side of her headset phones became really low, but they're MSI ones, I think.
Oh, right, that's interesting. I don't know why that would be. Well, Meg, if you're having problems with them, drop me an email and I'll get in contact with MSI who sent me them, and I'll see if there's something we can do to either sort them out or get another set sent to you. Can't say fairer than that. Stephen Simmons is in the house. Hey up, man. Man is and Calf. Okay, I kind of get what you mean. For the Lord says, I got Watch Dogs this week and it's great. It was only like £7. Watch Dogs was a great game. I didn't think the gameplay itself was particularly polished, and I felt the first person part of it was a little bit off. It wasn't quite as gamery or as kind of refined as things like Counter-Strike. But the overall game experience and the story and the kind of methodology of how it all works now, it's all bolted together with the hacking and all that, I find it to be actually very interesting. It gave me a lot of game time. I actually did enjoy that quite a lot. That was back when I used to have more time. ClickTech UK, our man Kev from the Brum. You think he's got man flu? Uh-oh. I hope it's not what I've had, because it was awful. Moan, moan, moan. Aletta says, I'm recovering well from my surgery. I just noticed today the incision is nearly 4 inches long.
Is that a man's 4 inches?
Yeah, is that a woman's 4 inches or a man's 4 inches? Because we all know that they are completely different sizes. Depending if you're reversing or whatever you're measuring, they're different, okay? Aletta, I hope you're recovering well. Back surgery. I was thinking that myself. I was thinking, oh man, I hope I ain't got surgery on my back, because I'll be like a real wuss. Whereas Aletta's gone through it and just like, yeah, whatever. Next.
Let's clean my PC out.
Yeah. Matthew Day says, I remember cases with edges that would extract the blood sacrifice. Yeah, that's something we don't tend to get these days. I think case manufacturing has refined quite a lot. Early 2000s, definitely, that cases were lethal. I worked at a company called M Squared in Bristol, where we sold and built PCs, etc. And quite a few of my colleagues, one of my colleagues, Carl, actually had a really, really bad injury on one, and it kind of took off most of his finger. And he had some serious surgery and stitches to kind of stick it all back together, and that was pretty awful. So yeah, some cases can be very, very bloodthirsty. Ghost Stutter says, I'm a male. I'm just a weirdo with a female profile picture. Hey, that's all right. We live in a gender fluid society these days, so you can be what you want to be when you want to be. Apparently. What else we got?
Tina's mooning you're behind on the question.
I am really behind. Alexa says it's currently -1 degrees here in Ohio. That is horrible. I don't like the cold. It's not good. Captain Meets Adventure says, I would have given more, but it was a heavy month. Well, everything we get is a bonus. We don't expect any of it, and we don't request any of it. So anything we do get super chat wise, it's all good in the hood.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. Megs Visual says, do they both have side buttons? I'm also already using a GameMax mouse. I don't know the name of it though. Which one was it? The Corsair mouse, the M55 RGB Pro, actually has, if I remember rightly, yeah, because it's completely ambidextrous, this one. So it's actually got the back and forward buttons on both sides of the mouse. So you can actually program 4 side buttons, which is a nice feature. It's a damn shame, really, that that control wheel is just a little bit too far forward for me to really get used to. It probably would be alright, actually, after, you know what it's like with any keyboard or mouse, it takes a little bit of kind of bedding in time, maybe a week or so, until it becomes to feel completely natural. Which is actually one of the reasons why a lot of these kind of mice reviews that I kind of take with a pinch of salt, because I don't think most people keep them on the desk and actually use them as their daily driver for an extended period. So, which is why I'm actually trying to now.
I do.
Yeah. Kath's using her mouse for an extended period. Kath's mouse is the Microsoft Laser Mouse 3000, which actually is possibly one of the greatest mice that have ever been produced. Mices. Yeah. If you ever get the chance to buy one, the Microsoft Laser Mouse 3000, it is an amazing mouse. The tracking is brilliant. It's got ambidextrous layout, buttons on both sides, perfect mouse. They just don't make them anymore, otherwise I'd buy another one. Where are we? Alexa says, I'm using a $5 generic mouse that I bought at Walmart. Hey, why not? If it works, why not? I gotta be honest with you, some of the cheapest mice I've ever had have often been the ones that have lasted the longest and have actually given me more enjoyment than anything else. I remember one of my first mice, which was just an IBM compatible PS2 style mouse with a serial to PS2 adapter on the end. That mouse was great. I loved that mouse. I played, what did I play? Doom, I think it was, the original Doom, and possibly the original Quake on it. And it was just a great mouse because it enabled me to do things that I hadn't done before with a computer or a game console. So I got some really fond memories of that. ClickTech says the Pebble 2 are awesome. They certainly are. I really like them. They're good. Oh, I'm missing out things. So Keith Caravan 1 says an evening, and Welsh Tony. Are you Welsh Tony? What I was going to say then? I don't know what I was going to say then. I nearly did go a little Welsh then. I did. No, I'm not going to even do it. Wow, Alexa just pinged YouTube and averaged 130 milliseconds of lag. That's pretty bad. So no online gaming for you, my friend. Keith Canavan 1 said, I tried out the GeForce Now on my potato of a laptop at 720p and 4G Wi-Fi. Impressed with it. Oh, awesome. I'm glad. Captain Meets Adventure says, I've been playing Half-Life through GeForce Now. See, that is another great thing to do. Download those older games that you haven't played. They install like in seconds. They're not going to take up space on your hard drive, and you can enjoy some of those old games. And actually, there's been a bit of a resurgence of Half-Life in the last couple of days. I've noticed just locally with people that we know. Crowbar 45, Angry Doge, and now you as well, all have picked up Half-Life again this week. So, It just goes to show that even though that game is like super old now, it's still got legs, and you can, well, literally it's got legs because you're running around, but it's still one of those games you can just pick up and play, and it is super enjoyable.
Help me, George. How do you do this?
Yeah.
Just pick up and play.
Tony Pepper's in the house and says, belated happy birthday, Calf, happy V-Day, and congrats on 20k subs. Yes, that's something we didn't mention yet,
Yes,
have
we
we?
did.
Did we mention that in the
Yeah,
last stream?
last stream.
Yeah, we've got to, somehow, I don't know how, I think it's just by sheer persistence, but we've managed to get to 20k subs. So for all of you that have stuck with us through the few years that we've been doing this, thank you all so much. Obviously we must be doing something right, or there's something interesting somewhere. Either that, or someone's posted the video somewhere on a server in China, and all the people with coronavirus are just subscribing because, well, they got nothing else to live for, so they might as well go for it.
That's bad.
Is that bad?
That's nasty.
That is nasty. I do apologise. Coronavirus is a very serious thing. It's a weird thing, actually.
Stop.
Calf's telling me to stop.
Let's get on with these
All right, sorry. Just going to say, coronavirus, always when there's something like this going on, this is where I get my tinfoil hat on. Coronavirus, yeah, it is a bad thing, and people are dying, so obviously it is a bad thing. But the common cold, the flu in the UK, more people just in the UK died from the flu than die from coronavirus. So let's put it into perspective. China is a bloody huge place. We're yet to see how bad it really does get, but the flu virus and other things like cancers and all that are completely on a different level compared with the coronavirus. So when the government and everyone's making all this news about this stuff, just what is going on elsewhere? What do they not want us to see? So they're diverting our attention to this. That's what I'm wondering. Oh dear, gonna get myself into trouble now. Anyway, back on with the tech stuff. Welsh Tony says, glad to see you better now. Yeah, I'm getting there. Definitely getting there. Watch Dogs was a great idea, but was boring. Yeah, it was very, very repetitive. Jason Adams says, is this a trivia chat? It can be. It can be whatever you want it to be. Aletta says a carpenter's 4 inches. Okay. That doesn't really give you much leeway either way. If it's a female carpenter, anyway. Captain Meese Venge says, I've signed up for GeForce Now, $4.99, as it's free for 90 days. I may try Google Stadia. Wonder how good both will be when next-gen games, machines, blah, blah, blah. Wonder how they compare. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. I think gaming or hardware as a service is going to become more and more a thing. So people are going to become less and less reliant on physical hardware, much like it is happening with cars now, where we're getting to the point where with self-driving cars, Uber taxis, it's almost as if like there's no point in owning a car, you just get a lift wherever you want, or hail a taxi or whatever it may be. People will still own cars, but I think it's getting to the point where we're being kind of herded or shepherded into that kind of, you don't need a car, just buy one when you need one, or buy one or use one when you need one and pay for it. Yeah, rentals essentially. I think that's the same thing happening with PCs. As it's becoming more and more expensive, if you want to buy or build a absolutely killer gaming PC with a 2080 Ti and all that kind of stuff, you're not going to get much change out of £1,500 or $2,000 or whatever it may be. So to buy that computer as a service, whilst using like a potato laptop or whatever, and using that as like a gateway to have access to these games at their full resolutions, all that kind of stuff, I think that's going to be the way a lot of it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to do much for hardware manufacturers, because they'll be selling it at kind of almost like cost prices to these big companies so they can host it. But then saying that, the enthusiast market for PCs isn't the bread and butter. It's always been the business users and the kind of the mainstream stuff, which is the bread and butter. The enthusiast stuff is like 1 or 2% of the entire kind of sales. So I don't know. We'll see. ClickTech says, you need one of those bra things. Oh, I need one of those bra things you was wearing a while back, Mike. I've still got it. It's still on the desk there. Excuse me a second. Cough up a lung. Let's have a quick fast forward. See, blah, blah, blah. Alistair, good evening, Alistair. Hope you're okay. Bills and coins in the house. I build. Blah, blah. Welsh Tony says, yeah, Kath does all the work, Mike just sits in front of a camera. This is very true. She has got the brains and she's got the looks. Although I've been
I've got the brains, you've got the looks.
She's got the brains, he's got the looks. Let's make lots of money. There's a song in there. Captain Meets Finish says, we defo need a proper Netflix of games. All the services are nearly there, but not. Yeah, that is true, actually. It's that is the thing, that all of these companies now are kind of going off on their own little splinter directions. So you've got all these subscription services that don't want to get on board with each other. Obviously, we've got Disney Plus coming out soon in the UK, which is going to be the same again. So it's just another service that you have to add. It's going to get to a point where it's almost like a channel within a channel. So you'll need to have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Google Videos, Amazon Prime, etc., etc. It all goes on, and it's going to be back to how we used to be in the 80s, where you had 5 channels on your TV, and then you could watch whatever's on. Whereas now we're going to have 5 services, and you can change between them. Yeah. Kath says, it's a joint effort, and you're right. Click tech, Kev. Yeah. Well, Shane says, what's good for a bad back? It feels like it's in half. Being in my loft doing lights, insulation and boarding all day. Oh, that's hard work. That is hard work. The last time I went up in our loft and did anything up there, I remember for the next couple of weeks basically trying to cough up bits of insulation, because obviously being a man, didn't wear any protection or dust mask or anything, and yeah, that's probably why I'm ill now. Phil Dennis is in the house. He says, you sound rough, Mike. Don't sneeze on the mic or we'll all get it. Yes. Oh. Aletta's had a couple of back surgeries. That is not good. Alistair says, streaming is great in practice, but the infrastructure just isn't there in most places. Yeah, definitely. In the UK, I think, although we've got really good upload speeds, generally we are still in the ADSL days, so it's asynchronous, so we don't have equal upload and download, which you don't always need, but you do find that your latency speeds and your frame times and all that kind of stuff will be much steadier if you've got a constant upload and download stream, which are almost the same, because there's an even pipeline going both ways. Whereas if you've got huge amounts of data going out or coming in and vice versa, it's unbalanced, so it leads to bottlenecks in the system. Most network cards are designed to kind of cope with that by dropping the occasional packet, but when they get bombarded by packets and they're not sure how to route them or where to pipeline them to, that's when you get your drops and that's when you get your slowdowns. So even if you've got the fastest broadband in the world, it still isn't a great idea, because just like firing thousands of tennis balls at a tennis player, he's only got one racket to catch him with, so he's going to hit a few, but most of them are going to slip straight past. I think I've explained that. Ghost Hunter says, I'm moving from an Intel build to an AMD one. Will I need to wipe my hard drive and use Windows on it again, or just keep the same with Windows kept on it? That is a very, very good question, actually. It used to be that because AMD and Intel chipset drivers were very, very different, especially for the advanced host controllers for the SATA drives, then you would need to do a fresh install just to be sure that it worked, because they'd have completely different. I think it was IHS SYS was the Intel one, and there was AMD SYS for the AMD one, and vice versa, etc., etc. But nowadays they tend to actually work on a very similar driver base. So more times than not, you can take a drive out of an Intel system, put it into an AMD one, and it will work. Whether or not it's going to be a fantastic experience is another matter. Simplest answer is you're better off, if you can, do a fresh install, copy your data across. Or alternatively, use the Macrium software, which is going to be a convenient link into what I was going to discuss about the videos we did last week. Use Macrium and create an image of your drive, do a base install, and then use the macrim image to restore to, and try it, see how it works. If it doesn't work, it's only an image, so you can ditch it and start again. But that would be what I'd recommend to do. Try doing that. The macrim software is free, and you can even use VI boot, which will boot a virtual machine on your hardware. So if there's, say, a program which you've installed, which you can't reinstall or whatever, you can still use it within a virtual machine, which is really, really handy. Hopefully that answers that a little bit. Probably doesn't. Sony, Microsoft and Nintendo want to end the second-hand market. Yeah, because it doesn't serve them any purpose at all, because they've lost money on the sale of the hardware originally. The console itself, generally they make a loss or very rarely break even. The PS5 is being delayed for that very reason, because it's becoming extremely non-cost effective to make a console which is effectively a PC gaming hardware running PC hardware inside it at a relatively good price. It's difficult to do, which is actually something which I saw coming from when Nintendo started using the AMD hardware or ATI hardware in the Nintendo Wii. You could see it happening because they were going over to PC hardware. Similar time before that, you had the original Xbox, which used an Intel 733 MHz Intel chip and effectively a GeForce graphics card with basically DDR RAM. So it was, well, actually even a hard disk drive in there as well was SATA, no, IDE hard drive it was back then. So it was effectively a PC in a box, which PC components cost a certain amount to make. So you're going to have to go with that. So if you want to make a gaming PC as a console, it's still going to cost loads of money. Bills and coins, you've already had that question answered by Kath. It was the Boya BYM
M1, isn't it?
BYM1, yeah. That's right, yeah. The Boya mic, which is actually brilliant. I've had this mic now. Oh, shouldn't touch it, that's bad. I've had this mic now almost from the pretty much start of this channel. It's still using the same batteries. It's got batteries in it. It's powered. I've left it on overnight countless times. Almost every single video I've used it on. I've tripped over it. I've caught it in almost every single wheel on chairs I've got in here. I've zipped it in my flies, all those kinds of things. And it just keeps on going. For the £15 or so that I paid for it, it's definitely paid for itself time and time again. And actually the audio pickup on it is very, very good as well. I think some of that actually goes to the Lumix camera, because the audio preamps on the Lumix camera are absolutely amazing. Shame the autofocus sucks, but the preamps are really good. Tony says, YouTube's having a fit with me. Got audio but no video now. Oh, that's probably good.
Oh, we ain't got the looks.
Got the looks, got no voice. Ramon says, hi. Hi, Ramon. ClickTech, you says, not drinking tonight, or are you on the night nurse? Well, no, actually, the other night I thought, I know what was a good idea. I will try and douse my cold with Captain Morgan's. And it basically just made me feel like I had a hangover the next day, which is probably not that unexpected, but it didn't do what it was intended to do. So, yeah, I had a cold and a hangover, which was not great. Alistair says, the Isle of Man networking is pretty much non-existent. Yeah, the Isle of Man is, well, I went there many, many, many years ago, like 30 plus years ago, and even then, in comparison with what we had in the UK, it seemed like the infrastructure was a little bit lacking. Really nice place, fantastic place actually, really nice to go visit, but it just seemed like it was a couple of steps behind, a few years behind in technology and infrastructure. And if I picked that up as a kid, then I'm sure there must have been other bigger issues.
But then that's nice.
It was nice, yeah, don't get me wrong, it was a really lovely place.
Because everywhere is just the same looking now, isn't it? Because it's all just...
Yeah.
Every high street you could be...
Globalised, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coxella says, yeah, I've used Macrim in the past before, it's great. It totally is. Macrim is an awesome piece of software, I really do like it. ClickTech UK says, I had huge problems going from Intel to AMD, had loads of issues with blue screens, etc. I'd always advise a clean install. Yeah, a clean install is always a good idea. Although saying that, if you're using AMD system and you've got AMD graphics cards, then maybe you're experiencing all the weird randomness that others are experiencing, which yeah, that was. That's a weird thing. I don't know. What about you people that are using AMD hardware? Are you finding that your Radeon graphics cards are very flaky, or the drivers are bad or unstable, or more so than you'd expect from NVIDIA cards? I don't know. I've got an NVIDIA card in my video editing PC, which has been okay, a few little weird quirks, but I think that's mostly to do with the kind of the V-Sync and the FreeSync with the monitor. So every now and then I get some weird corruption in OBS. Other than that, it's pretty much fine. This system, however, with the RX 580, has been having some weird stuff, and I've had some weird random reboots. Before the stream, actually, I thought I was going to have to cancel because the PC kind of just blue screened and died, which it's done a couple of times, which is a little bit worrying. So I don't know if this the old boy is on its way out, so I don't know. We will see. Ghost Adder says, do you still buy PC parts from local retailers, or is it just all online for you? And do you think stores will shut down because of this? I would love to be able to say that I've bought locally, but truthfully I haven't. Because of the time scales and schedules and stuff, I actually find it really difficult to make time to go to retail stores, which is terrible. But in the UK, we've got like a weird thing where all the retail stores tend to be in one area. So you have to travel kind of the other side of the county or town or whatever to get to these places, and generally they've got pretty poor stock. In the UK at the moment, as a hardware store, we've got PC World, which is part of the Courage Group, which is basically rubbish. They have some good deals every now and then, but essentially it's rubbish. There's a few good stores around. They've got actual retail outlets. You've got Novatech, CCL, Overclockers, eBuyer, all of which have got retail, so AWD, IT. There's a few others as well dotted around, but there's no one store which has got kind of regional places, which is a real shame. Otherwise, I think most people would try and make an effort to get there. But again, like I said, for the PC market, the actual amount of enthusiast sales against market volume is really low. So there isn't really a market for it, unfortunately, which is why online works so well, because they don't have the overheads of retail stores and all that kind of stuff, and they just ship stuff out, and it's a lot easier to do that way. Novatech, for one, used to have 3 or 4 stores. They had one in Bristol, which was really nice. They had a Cardiff one. I think there's Exeter, Denmead, a few others. Really good place to go. They had a lot of stock. They always had good prices as well, which were equivalent to internet prices because they were internet as well. But they found the same as most places, that they just could not afford to keep the retail outlets open. And slowly they've gone back to having just one store, which was their original store, and they do it all online or collections from the store. So there isn't really anywhere you can go in the UK to get hardware parts, like a big range. When I see these YouTube videos of like Jay's 2 Cents and Linus and that, and they go to their local Best Buy or Walmart or Micro Centres, all those kind of places. Yeah, even the second-hand market over there is much, much better, or appears to be much better than what we've got access to, which is a real shame. Captain Meets Adventures says, thank God you're back, as this is where Saturday night is. You certainly have issues, my friend. You really do. Ah, dear.
How's Peanut?
Yeah, how is Peanut? ClickTech Kev says, Ghost Adder, replying to Ghost Adder's comment on that, yeah, I usually buy online, but I do have a box.co.uk close to me, which is a great store to visit, decent prices too. Yeah, box.co.uk is actually pretty good. That's one of the ones which, again, because it's kind of like, it is an online seller, but it's kind of out of the way for me. I don't really give it as much time as I should, but I do notice quite often on hot UK deals, there is a lot of good stuff that comes out of there. Ghost Adder says, I had RX 570, 8 gigs, and I had no problems, bought it last week. Aletta says, my 5700 XT has been running great for over 2 months. ClickTech says, my lad's PC's gone a bit flaky last few weeks, RX 480 and i7. Alistair says, my RX 5700 XT is fine. Most of the time, does not like DirectX 10 for some reason. Rootkit Dev says, nice content, and hi from the Ukraine. Hi to you in the Ukraine. don't get many people from Ukraine watching, so hi, how you doing? Michael Lawson says, my 5700 XT has been running great for 3 months with an overclock. Captain Meets Adventure, sorry guys, Amazon has killed the high street. It totally has. It has, and it's done it in such a slick way. I don't think that there's anyone who uses Amazon on a regular basis that could legitimately find fault with it. The prices are generally very good. The prime deliveries can save you a fortune. I suppose that is kind of tied up into it because if you were going out on the high street and buying stuff, you wouldn't pay the delivery fees because you'd collect it yourself, but you pay time, parking, petrol, etc. So if you use it regularly enough and get pretty much everything that you buy from Amazon, you can save an absolute fortune on time and money. The delivery service isn't always the greatest. Amazon are quite well known for having crappy delivery drivers who just lob things at your door or ring on the doorbell and run away faster than someone with a cough shouting out, I've got coronavirus can. It's really, really bad, their delivery service. But having said that, if you live somewhere where you've got a regular driver that you kind of know and you see a lot, like we're really lucky because we have an Amazon driver who we know pretty well and he does most of the drops. So we're almost on first name terms, and I suppose when I sign for stuff and he says, "Oh, what name is it?" and I put Mike's Unboxing, he probably realises my name anyway now because he sees all the labels. But yeah, he's a decent guy. And
Did you sign that?
No, of course I don't. I just sign Mike. But I always go to the door with a Mike's Unboxing t-shirt on, so he's like, "Oh, Mike's." Oh yeah.
Do you want
And he realises this straight away.
Do you ask him if he wants a selfie yet?
Yeah. No.
I think you should next time.
Alistair says, I just wish Amazon was better with their staff. Yeah, their staff do get absolutely shat on from a great height. I've seen some of the documentaries on their basically like sweatshops where they literally run people into the ground. But saying that, it must be, I don't know, because of how big an operation it is and how many people work there, they can't all be going through that, can they? Surely, otherwise they wouldn't do it, or they'd have nobody working there. So I don't know whether some of it is where people are a bit like work shy anyway and just don't like being told how to work and to work hard. I don't know, it's very difficult. You see it from like the media's perspective where they put a slant on it anyway. So you never really know the full story unless you work there. I'd be interested actually if anybody works for Amazon and has got any comments if you're allowed to, or even if you're an ex-employee, let us know. Captain Meets Adventures, Peanut is fine. He kind of escaped for the night. Oh dear. But he's all good, okay. Matthew Day says, online also killed most of the computer fair circuits. Although two fighting in my area didn't help either. Yeah, that is... the computer fair that we had in Bristol with the Whitchurch Sports Centre was pretty much famous within both the tech and enthusiast community. Everybody knew about it, and it was like, even trying to get parking, even queuing to get into the place was hard work, wasn't it, Kath? Remember we used to go to that, and it's like struggling to get parking at Whitchurch. You had to park kind of even out of the car park because the car park was so full. And oh yeah, horrendous story. Now, this is taking you back. So this is when FST monitors, right, or flat square or CRT, and I really, really, really wanted a Sony flat screen CRT, which at the time most of the screens were kind of like fish bowls. They were really rounded. So I wanted a nice flatter screen, and I saved up some money to get a second-hand one from the computer fair. So I went to the computer fair. There was a guy who had a 17-inch FST. I can't remember the actual model of it now, but it was a pretty high-end screen. And I bought it, and then we had to carry it back to the car. So I'm carrying the screen. I've got my my coat on. So I thought, well, what's the best way of protecting the screen? I know, I'll hold it this way. So I'm protecting it with my shirt and my coat and all that kind of stuff. So it's protection. Stupidly, I forgot I was wearing trousers, which were kind of like Simon Cowell's, so they're quite high-waisted, and I had a belt buckle. So by the time I got home and turned on the screen, I'd realised that my belt buckle had actually scratched a line in the protective coating on the front of the monitor. I was distraught. It was horrendous. I'd saved up all this money for this beautiful Sony flat screen monitor, only for it to have a massive scrape in the front of the screen. Absolutely horrendous. But eventually, fear not, because I got sick of it and I sold it to my friend Chris Cole, who I worked with, and I upgraded from a 17-inch monitor to a 19-inch monitor, which supported 1600 by 1200 DPI. Can you believe that? Amazing screen.
And if Chris Cole's watching...
And Chris Cole, if you're watching, get in touch.
Can you answer Bills and Coins about the...
Bills and Coins, what have I got to answer?
Boya BY M1 or the Blue Snowball Ice, which would be the best for podcasts?
For podcasts, I would say... I don't know, actually, the Snowball Ice I've not used, but I know a lot of people that have, and they find it very, very good. The reason I like the Boya mic is because I can clip it on, and it's relatively unintrusive. I can just get on, it doesn't block the shot. Whereas with the USB mics, when I'm watching podcasts, there's always someone with a USB mic, and it's always kind of like either like here in front of their face, or kind of here in front of them, or here, so you can get the best possible view. So you can just see their eyes moving around, but you can't actually see their mouth, so you can't tell if it's in sync or not. It's like really weird. Why would you want that? So for me personally, a lav mic or a mic that you can put out of shot is perfect. The Snowballs, I think, because of the USB ones, I don't think they've got a particularly good pickup when they get slightly further away from you. So for me, I'd go with the Boya. It's actually cheaper as well, from what I can tell. Hopefully it answers that question for you, Bills and Coins. Captain Meets Adventure says, Amazon will deliver to your workplace too, so no stupid note to the door saying you can pick up your post office.
Although Amazon are usually pretty good.
Yeah, Amazon actually aren't bad.
They usually leave...
You get the odd driver who's in a hurry and they'll just like leave something in a daft place, but rarely do you actually miss it. Quite often I'll find it's in with next door, or it's been left in a safe place, or it's just actually in the front porch, something like that. Actually, I think
we've only missed
they've done well.
lost two, haven't we? That graphics card going to a different address altogether. Have you ever mislaid one or two parcels?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah, we've only had a couple of parcels go missing and they've been refunded, so although it was a pain in the butt, it wasn't too bad. ClickTech UK says you can tour some of the Amazon warehouses. I'd actually quite like to do that. That'd be pretty cool, watching people work. Can't beat it. Jed Matthews says, hello guys, watching from in my garage, ironically putting together a cheapish gaming PC for a nephew while I watch it. Using a lot of parts I have knocking about in my garage from an old rig. That is the best kind of rig, the one you can knock up out of using old bits. Like that. Letter says, the C virus won't last long, it was made in China. Shouldn't laugh.
Was it made in Canada?
Oh wow, Alistair says, my uncle worked for them, hence my comment. It was horrible, you get 2-minute toilet breaks, 2 15-minute breaks and a half an hour break, all for a 12-hour shift. That sounds very similar to Sports Direct. Sports Direct are pretty bad as well.
But then a lot of little companies are.
Yeah, a lot of little companies are, and they treat staff like crap, really.
Well, those are big companies, aren't they? But...
Yeah. Rodrigo says, hi Mike. Hi Rodrigo, how are you? Sorry, my cold is kicking back in again a bit, I think. Rodrigo says, live stream already ending. No, it's just been this bad all day.
It's because I said bye to Lot before
Right.
was leaving.
Captain Meets Adventures, I bought a new Samsung TV. Omega was little, so she scratched our 2-day-old TV with a toy car. Oh dear. Angel, actually, our daughter Angel, if you're watching, you're a very, very bad girl. We got a new TV in the front room. When 3D TVs were coming out, I decided to get a 3D TV that I don't need. And she was having some kind of thing at school where they were going around marking up things with ultraviolet pen, putting postcodes on for bike thefts and stuff like that. So she came home and the first thing she did was write our postcode on the top of our monitor. On the actual screen, yeah. Which was not really favourable. I think we got that off, but she had it on the bezel around the top, and I think it's still there, isn't it?
I think it's on the one up. Is it not the 3D one? Is it the one in our bedroom?
It's one of them, yeah. So, bad girl. Angry Doe says, I'm back, what did I miss? Nothing, apart from the end of the world and the second coming of Christ. Tony Pepper says, could have got the scratch out with toothpaste. Now, actually, if the internet was about then, which it wasn't really, and YouTube wasn't even a thing then, I should have looked up how to get rid of scratches in monitors. But it was weird actually, because it was like it was a film over the front of the monitor. So the monitor screen was glass, but they put this kind of like plastic cover over the front of it, almost like they used to have on like Etch-a-Sketch, if you know what that is. It was really weird. So you could either peel the whole thing off or stick with it. So I kind of stuck with it and then pass it on.
To me?
No, to Chris Cole.
Oh yeah. Didn't I have it for a bit?
Jeb Matthews says, Amazon Prime, well worth it if you use it often. Pity is crushed local stores though. There's some things that Amazon and online stores will never crush. I also do some work with the kind of aftermarket stuff for cars, such as polishes, waxes, resins, snow foams, all that kind of stuff. And for things like that, people actually want to see what they're getting, because you know what it's like, you go onto eBay, you go onto Amazon, and you buy like a little pot of wax, which is about £50, and you think, oh, that's great, that's going to last forever. And then you get it delivered, and it's like tiny, it's like the size of like a McDonald's ketchup. You're like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? That's not worth £50. But obviously they haven't broken any contract because it is what they've described, etc. But because it's a picture, you don't know what the heck you're getting. So at least when you go into stores, you can see what it is you're getting, you can hold it, play with it, smell it, all those kinds of stuff. So same like fruit markets, I wouldn't really necessarily do my grocery shopping online. Maybe I do a little bit, but I preferably would rather go to a store, select my own fruit, get my bananas, get my apples, all that kind of stuff, because you know what you're getting.
Hairdressers.
Yeah, hairdressers, they'll never get taken over by Amazon, that's for sure. You never know. Alexa says, my boss treats me bad too. I often have to work 80 to 100 hours per week. The worst part is I'm self-employed. Yeah, I feel your pain. Quite often, doing YouTube stuff, people think that, oh, it's really simple. You just sit in front of a camera and waffle over a load of crap, which actually generally is a lot of it. But what people don't often realise is to actually plan out this crap and to kind of do all the preliminary stuff and to get the products in and do the ordering, do the research and all that stuff, it takes tons and tons of time, even just answering questions on a video. You think that like this video now, this live stream, hour and a half, hour, whatever it is done, is forgotten. No, it's not, because it's on YouTube, it's got a comment section, and people always comment on videos. Even from the first videos I've done, still getting comments on them. So how many comments do you reckon we get a day, Cav? 100?
Yeah.
Easy, innit?
Yeah.
We easily get 100 comments a day on videos. So if I take 2 minutes to answer each one of those comments, that's 3 hours answering comments. So obviously not all of them get quite a elaborate answer. Some of them do, some don't. But just to give you an idea of how much time doing YouTube videos takes up, it is.
And research before.
Yeah, the research, editing, all that waffle stuff. It takes ages, it really does. And speaking of this, I've got to have a drink of tea, so I'm gonna.
Don't belabor those things. Why? Those wheels pick things up really easy.
Nice bit of tea drinking ASMR for you there. There we go. Right, that's better. Alistair says Amazon ain't crushing the barbers. Yeah, that's for sure. Jed Matthews has a quick question. Ryzen 7 2700X. Do you think I should use the Wraith Prism or my 6-year-old Corsair H100i? Been in box last 2 years. Well, the H100i is going to have a larger thermal mass, and it's going to be quieter because obviously you've got 2 fans there, 120mm fans. 2 fans can spin slower than one single fan. I think if I remember rightly, the Wraith Prism is a 92mm fan, if I'm not mistaken. So that's got to spin a lot faster to create the same sort of air pressure or air movement as the Corsair. But saying that, if it's been in the box for 2 years, there is a strong chance that it's possibly degraded, maybe even the motor's knackered. So give it a try, see how you get on with it. It depends what you want, really. The Wraith Prism, like George has got a 2700X upstairs, our son, and he's using the box cooler on his, and he's been using it ever since he put the CPU in there, and he finds it absolutely fine. It's a little bit noisy, but he wears headphones when he's gaming, so it depends what you want. If you want it to be quieter, use the water cooler for sure. ClickTech UK says new chair. No, this is actually a, well, it is kind of like a newish chair. It's actually the chair that Kath uses in the bedroom for doing her hair and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, I don't need it for that. But yeah, it's on wheels, and it hasn't got a back on it, so I have to sit upright, which is supposed to be better for my spinal stuff. We'll see. Alistair says that's the ASMR content I came here for. Yes. Dong Long Kwa says scientists prove you can kill coronavirus with alcohol. Yeah, I tried it. I obviously didn't have coronavirus, just a common influenza. Alistair says, oh, new video idea, ASMR unboxing. Thank me later. Okay. Right, for those of you that, oh, actually, I suppose I should talk about the rear links that are on the desk. If you're wondering why they're there. Yeah, I actually didn't talk about it in the video. So we talked about Macrium. We did the Macrium backup using Reflect, which if you haven't used Macrium, why have you not used Macrium? Get Macrium, get the backup going, get yourself a little USB drive or send an image to another part of your system. So useful. I cannot stress enough. If you've got a system and you rely on it and you want to keep it up and running, especially nowadays with all these Windows updates and drivers which tend to be flaky AF, just create a backup. It's really easy to do. It's not going to cost you any money. All it's going to take you is a few minutes just to install Macrium, set a backup routine, set yourself up a nice routine with like a grandfather, a father and son backup system. So you've got like a monthly, a weekly and a daily. Absolutely brilliant. If anything goes wrong with your system, just reboot into it, use Macrium and then just reload an image. And it's so much quicker than having to reinstall all your drivers, download Adobe, download whatever it is, Office, lose your license keys, all that kind of stuff. Oh, what a pain that is. And how expensive it is. Like a license key, even if you buy them from a good cheap place like premiumcdkeys.com, offer code MIKESUNBOXING5, you can still, like, it's still going to cost you £20–30 to install Office and Windows. Whereas for the sake of a Macrium backup onto a USB drive or to a spare bit on your hard drive, it don't cost you anything. You barely even notice it's running. It runs in the background, it uses Windows Shadow Volume Copy, which is what System Restore uses, so you don't even know it's creating a restore point. It's that unintrusive. And most of you watching this have probably got multi-core systems with 6, 8, 12 cores, whatever it is. You're never going to even notice it's running. Even if you're playing a game, you won't notice it's running. So do yourself a favour, get yourself Macrium, get backed up, save your system, save yourself some money. Hence why I did the video. So watch the video, see how it's done, see how easy it is. It can be a real lifesaver, literally can be a lifesaver, because it's nothing worse than having to reinstall a system from scratch. I genuinely hate having to do that, especially if you're testing out hardware, maybe you're benchmarking or you're testing out different bits of hardware. Swapping it in and out all the time screws Windows royally. So make a backup, reload the backup, test your software, then reload the backup. It's so quick and easy to do. You will kick yourself for not doing it. Yes, there we go. The other video, the salt lamp bulb. Well, that was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it? Now, the salt lamp apparently is supposed to give out negative ions, which are a good thing, apparently. Positive ions are generally dirty ions, which are not good. So positive ions attract negative ions, and then when they get heavy, they fall to the floor. So all the particles in the air get heavy and fall to the floor, so you don't breathe them in. Good stuff. Does it work? Don't know. I'm not a PhD, but if the bulb don't work, it ain't gonna work at all. So I bought some new bulbs on Amazon and I showed you guys how to repair them or to replace them. And strangely, actually, one thing that I didn't really pick up on at the time is you can actually replace the bulb holder as well. Whereas most people got a salt lamp or those novelty lamps like the IKEA lamps, and they think that once the bulb's gone or the holder's broken, that's it, chuck it in the bin. You can't do that because Greta gets really pissed off when you throw plastics in the sea. So get yourself a new bulb holder, get a new bulb, and get your bulbs up and running again, or your lamps up and running again. It's awesome. Anyway, so that's that. The Rio Toro Aviator, and that headset review was at the sort of the beginning of where my cold was really starting to kick in. And I was getting to the point where I was actually starting to go deaf. My right...
It was that area.
It's still doing it a bit now. My right ear is a little bit kind of blocked. And if I push... Oh, that's better. That's crystal clear now. I put a bit of pressure on the outside of my ear, and I can hear better. So there's something weird going on in there, like ear infection or something, but anyway, whatever. So I started doing this review, and I was like, these headphones, they sound really good in this ear, but not so good in this ear. What's going on? And that's when I realised it, so I flipped it around. I was like, oh no, yeah, that is right. So yeah, they are really good headphones. It confused me at first. The microphone recording, I don't know if you've watched the video yet, but the boom mic on them, it's got like a noise cancelling mic, which I was thinking, yeah, all right, whatever. They all say noise cancelling. Basically what they mean by noise cancelling is it's got a bit of foam on the end to stop you popping. But I don't know, what do you think? The sound quality on that microphone, the boom mic, was amazing. And actually I compared it with, in the video, I was doing recording my voiceovers with my Boya mic, as I generally tend to do. But then I went to the recording with the boom mic, and actually, even though I recorded it at a lot lower frequency, I think I recorded it like 48 hertz, which is crap anyway. I should have upped it to like 96 or 100 plus. Maybe 190 would have been ideal to get the full clarity. But even at 48 hertz, it sounded amazing. And there was a lot of kind of bass as well. My voice sounded a bit more manly, if that is a thing. It sounded really good. I liked it. It's a really nice, rich sound to it. But anyway, so if you want a headset, Rio Toro Aviator seems to be the way to go. It's actually good value for money. And I did say in the video, I think it's about 80 to 90 pounds. And I think I was way off because it's like a pre-release they sent to me. And I think it's closer to 50. So for 50 pounds, it's actually really good value for money. So I was looking at the comments there. What else do we... Oh, and then of course we did the GameMax Diamond case, which was, it genuinely was a diamond in the rough. Sorry, pun intended, but yeah, actually a really great case. Now tomorrow, when you're really bored, when you should be in church praying and all that kind of stuff, or cleaning your house, or cleaning your car, doing whatever, don't do that. Watch the back catalogue of videos, or if you're lucky enough, wait until the new releases come out, because tomorrow we got a new Sahara case video, which is the Sahara Sea God, the H600B, which is... I can't even put into words. This is a £60 case in the UK, which comes with no fans whatsoever, or there's an option of buying it with 6 fans and a controller, remote control, all that kind of stuff, for about £85, which actually seems to be pretty good value for money. If you want 6 fans as well, seems like a no-brainer. But anyway, if you just want the case on its own, £60, it is effectively, I would say, like the NZXT H500 series in quality and looks a little bit, but it's got a full mesh front with a filter as well, which you can use or you can take out if you want to. But it just looks the bomb. It really does look like a nice case, and it is so strong, really structurally sound, no wiggle to it. The side panels all fit in really nicely, so it's just a really, really nice case. And it'll take 3 3.5 inch drives, 4 2.5 inch drives, loads and loads of room in there, but not massive, not a massive case, but loads of decent ventilation. And for £60, £60 isn't a lot for a case these days. Case prices have gradually gone up and up and up and up and up. So £60 is almost kind of like your, not entry level, but you're kind of like your lower mid-end. Whereas this, I would say, is like a mid to medium tier case, but at a lower tier price. But anyway, check it out tomorrow, you'll enjoy it. It's good, it's a good case. Oh, drop my mic. So we've got Long Don Qua.
That was our winner from last week.
Oh yeah, Long Don Qua was the winner from last week, from our giveaway.
Creative.
Which was the Creative Outliers, which, yeah, another winner. Hey, it's nice to have some of you winners coming back in, spending a bit more time with us,
Even though
which is awesome.
won twice.
Aletta has a new case, which was $200 without any fans. That's a lot of money. There's a lot of money. $200.
What case is that?
Yeah, what case is that? Would it be a Lian Li Dynamique by any chance?
No, 'cause it's new.
Jed Matthews says, sounds like a nice case. Mind you though, I ain't a GameMax case fan, but their ARGB Predator case is great too. Yeah, the case, it's actually a Sahara case, not a GameMax case. The one that is being released tomorrow. The Sahara, Sahara is the Sahara gaming pirate, sea god. I see no ships. Angry pirate. Look it up, kids. No, don't look it up. Don't, whatever you do, open up a Google tab and type in angry pirate. Just don't do it. You've been warned. Don't do it. Alistair says, is there any case you'd recommend for noise dampening? Most ones I see just cook the insides. Yeah, the one we reviewed actually not long ago, which was the Be Quiet, the Pure Bass 500. That has some really good noise dampening.
But Alice.
Yeah, not the Alice case, that wasn't particularly good for noise dampening. Alexa's got the Lian Li 011 Dynamic XL. Needed a larger case for more water cooling. ClickTech says, I'm doing it. Angry Doe says, I will. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not safe for work. Not safe for work, Angry Pirates.
Falling off my chair.
What I was going to say now, I'm completely off my stride. Oh, that was it, yeah, Radiolink. So, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in a previous video, but Radiolink reached out to us and said, would you like to take a look at one of our cameras? These are external IP cameras, but this one, no, that's a charger. So it's got a solar pack, so you can actually have it completely wireless, well, apart from the charger. So if you've got somewhere where you want to mount it, maybe, I don't know, up a tree, which is actually not a bad example, or maybe on a roof eave or something like that.
I think you have discussed that one.
So you can put that somewhere and have it completely separate. As long as your Wi-Fi can reach it, you can get a signal and it'll just carry on working. The only thing that worries me about that is if it goes pear-shaped and it freezes or locks up, you've still got to get to it to press the reset button or disconnect it. So I don't know how that's going to work out. So if you do mount it in somewhere which like is really difficult to get to, so if you're in a warehouse or something and you got it mounted, I don't know, like 5-6 meters up on a roof space, and you need like a cherry picker to get to it, potentially, I don't know whether that's a good idea because you still need to get to it to possibly reset it, clean the lens or whatever. But you get the general idea. This is pretty much maintenance free, so it's to set it and forget it. As long as it's within your Wi-Fi zone, put it wherever you want. Magnetic, no, don't put it on the roof of your car. That's not a great idea. Don't do that.
New age dash cam.
Yeah. Ghost Hunter says, yeah, let's get off the subject of cameras. I don't like cameras. They're fun sometimes, but they're not really. But they are one of those things that you need in your life because life is full of bad people, and bad people do bad things, and bad people have a tendency to come into your house or your garden or whatever and, I don't know, steal your chickens or, I don't know, things like that. Steal your underwear off your line. There's some freaks out there who will do that. That is a thing in the UK where people will break into your back garden and steal your undercrackers off the line and do Lord knows what to them. Whether they wear them on their heads or use them as some kind of sacrifice, I don't know. But you need to keep an eye out for these people, and having an external camera which you can mount somewhere discreetly is probably a good idea. Moving off of that, Ghost Hunter says, when will you be doing a build in the GameMax Diamond? I was going to do it tonight. I genuinely wanted to do it tonight, but I don't think my back is quite up for it. It is getting better, so tomorrow I'm going to be doing some more back exercises, and if I can cope with it, like I said, next week we've got a little bit of free time, so hopefully we'll be doing more videos and potentially more live streams next week. So
Or during the
yeah, during the week we'll be trying to do some more live streams, so hopefully we'll do it live. If it isn't tomorrow, it might be Monday. We'll see how things go. If not Monday, maybe Tuesday. Hey, and if not Tuesday, Wednesday. There's a pattern here, but you get the idea. It's going to happen. It's going to be quick. It's going to be soon. The GameMax Diamond is going to be a... I'm not sure what I was going to put in it. I was going to put in my Athlon 200 GE and just have a cheap and cheerful little setup on it. But then again, I've got where is it? I've got a Ryzen 7 1700X there, and I got a motherboard in there, so I might do that. But see what you guys think, and we'll roll with it at the time. Captain Meets Adventure says, come on guys, like and share this stream. That sounds like a great idea. Definitely should do that. Alistair says, I'm going to go and watch the video on that case then. See you guys later. That one isn't up yet. It'll be up tomorrow. But anyway, the previous one's up. The Game Max Diamond. Booty Earns in the house. How you doing? Alexa says, I'd like to see someone come and try to steal my underwear off the line. My dogs need a snack. That sounds nasty. Captain Meets Adventure says, people from Kirkby by Liverpool are known as sock robbers. Oh, ClickTech Kev, man flu has beat me tonight, I'm off to bed. Sorry to hear you're not very well, mate. Hopefully catch up with you in the next live stream or, yeah, whenever. All the best, mate. Okay, so, what time is it? Bloody hell. Excuse my French. It's 10:30, and you guys have been waiting for this this draw to be happened. How long has this been frozen? Oh no, it's not. It's just I haven't moved. I don't know. Okay. Sorry. Here's a booty urn. Here's a conundrum for you. Who picks up blind dog's poo? That is a very good point. 80s horror fans in the house and says, hi chat. Oh yeah. Right, okay, let's get on with it. Right, this is your final warning now. If you haven't already entered on our Facebook post page thing for the Creative Labs Pebble V2, you need to do it now. Kath's about to drop the link into the chat, so you can go ahead and do that. Obviously, if you're watching this in the repeat or whatever, or later, the draw will have been done in a few seconds time, so you're too late. So if you're one of those people that's watching this video after, even though it says in the title there, see the title is a giveaway you'll find on this video, where it says Mike's Unboxing, Live Chat and Creative Pebble V2 giveaway. So the whole live chat and Creative Pebble giveaway means that it's done in the live chat. So if you put a comment in the comment section after this video saying, I like Creative Pebbles, can I win them please? A, no, and B, no. You got to like the page or do something on the page for the Facebook thing so your name's actually on there.
Comment.
And it's got to be done before the live draw, which is going to happen imminently.
You've got to comment.
So yeah, put a comment because we use a thing called comment picker, random comment picker. So you need to put a comment in there. It can be random, but the pick will be random. Am I making myself clear? I don't know. I had too many paracetamols today. I'm not too sure what I'm actually saying. Okay, so Kath's put the link in there, so we'll give you a minute or so to get in there, and hopefully Captain Meets Adventure says, which game would you save from a house fire? It says game. I'm sure that's meant to say game. It says gam at the moment, so that could be short for gammon.
Some nice steaks though.
We did have some nice steaks tonight. For all of you vegans or vegetarians, mute your microphones and headphones right now. Okay, so hopefully you're muted. Yeah, Kath and I, we had some really, really nice steak tonight. Steak, chips, onion rings, and fried mushrooms. Boom. How good was that?
But we did go to the chip shop for the...
We did go to the chip shop for the chips, which is probably not a great idea, and the mushrooms and the fried onion rings, yeah. But the steak come from a local butcher's, and it was amazing. So thank you to the local butchers for that. That was very, very nice. Just answer Captain Meets Adventures. Which game would you save from a house fire? If I had a physical game on a disc and I could never get it again from a download, I would probably save the Half-Life 2 collection, I think, or the Half-Life collection, the orange box. I think that would probably keep you going for a long time. Or CSGO. I think CSGO would probably be the one. Maybe Rocket League. I don't know. It's too hard to tell. Which would I do? Which would I spend more time on? Counter-Strike. Am I allowed to have the internet after I've got the game? So if I haven't got the internet, both of them are useless, so in that case I'll have Solitaire. At least I can play that by myself. Tony says, back to Mike's Unboxing FM. I always wanted a radio station.
Oh, you had one once, didn't you?
Ghost Seller says, I love the soundtrack on Rocket League. Yeah, and I've only just realised that you can actually, you can change your soundtracks. Aletta says, sounds great, Mike. Yum. I'm eating spicy jalapeno smoked sausage. Kath, stop me from saying something.
Don't say it, Mike. Don't.
Okay, I'm not going to say it. Captain Meets Adventure says, good choice, Half-Life 2. Yeah. Half-Life 2 would be the bomb. Angry Doge says, did you try the CL right-hand 0 command in CSGO? No, I didn't actually. I had to go and call George down from upstairs to tell me how to get the console to work again because I'd reinstalled everything and all my settings were completely gone, so I haven't, but I will try that because CL right-hand 0 makes you left-handed, I think, doesn't it?
Tony's being naughty.
Tony's being naughty and trying to pervert me to the dark side of the Force. I will not succumb to the pressure that is peer.
You say it, Tony.
Castaway by Grant on Rocket League is so good. On Rocket League, I think I like the version of what's it, Playing with the Toys, which I think is like a redone version of the Playing with the Boys song, which was in Top Gun. I'm pretty sure it is. I can't. Who did that? Who sang that? Kenny Loggins, was it? Kenny Loggins.
That's Footloose.
He did Footloose. I'm sure he did that song as well, Playing with the Boys. Supreme Beam says, sorry for bothering you, but would you be able to give me a €20 gift card so I could get my dad a birthday present? I don't think so. Kath's laughing. No. Is the honest answer no. If anyone else in the chat wants to do it, feel free to do it, but I'm not going to get into that because if I start giving out gift cards, things are going to get out of hand very quick. Yeah, Supreme, you could win £20 worth or €20 worth of speakers by entering our Facebook competition.
And then you can sell them on Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace.
Sell them on Facebook Marketplace, as Kath just said, and then you'll have your €20.
Boom.
Boom, job done. Alexa says, no need to say it, Mike. I know what you were thinking. I'm good at reading in the dark. Excellent. Angry Doge says, yes, it does make you left-handed. Captain Meets Adventure says, Resident Evil 2. Ooh. I didn't like Resident Evil, I got to say. Welshstone says, Mike, can I have a £20 gift card because you love me? Rewind this chat about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Spare change. Captain Meets Adventures, Mike, I need a new liver. Can you hook me up? I wish I could. Skystalker says, yes, Kenny Loggins, Playing with the Boys. He's put the rest of the thing on. I'm not going to sing it. But what a great tune. I'm actually looking forward to Top Gun 2 coming out soon. Well, hopefully soon. That'll be like revisiting my youth once again. Right, Kath, are we ready for the random comment picker?
Yeah.
Do you notice a delay there? That wasn't the internet, that was actually me and my brain actually misfiring and then starting again. Like a car on a cold morning. Ah, dear. Right, Supreme Bean might be doing something, or Dong Long Kwa selling a kidney. Skystalker says, sing, Mike. No. My singing voice is worse than my Bristolian speaking voice. Bills and coins, Mike, I need a new arm. Can you give me a hand?
Sorry.
Very good. I like that one. That's very good.
Right, let's. Oh,
Right, headphone warning, guys. I got a cough. That's better. I do actually feel really sorry for those people that have picked up the coronavirus wherever they are in the world, because even this just flu is just like really debilitating, even though it's not really. But it's just annoying because it's like you're still physically able to do some things, but it's just such hard work and it just drags on and on. Anyone who's suffering from a chronic illness, I do feel for you, because if it's like this all the time, it must suck. Well, Tony says, yay, I got a video, I can actually see Mike. Hiya!
Oh, it's missed you. Right.
Ah, dear. Hopefully when this stream is over, the lovely and talented Kerry Holzman will be hosting his latest build video, which is part 25, where he actually manages to get the memory installed. He's already got the CPU and the cooler installed, so that was the first 26 editions. So if you want to catch up on episode 27 and 28, where he actually puts both RAM sticks in, that will be coming up later, so you can watch that. Oh dear. I love Kerry Holzman. Skystalker says Top Gun Maverick is scheduled to be theatrically released in the United States of America on the June the 26th, 2020. Way! We got a super chat. I just realised actually the thing's blocking the thing. Let's get rid of those. Sorry, Relink, I'm discarding your products like a piece of old rag. Boots here says, haha, scratch your eyes out. Oh no, I do love Kerry Holzman's videos. I genuinely do.
He does.
I think it's actually, I do actually watch them because I find it fascinating. It's like really captivating how so many people can watch something which most of us would take for granted, which I guess we're all at different levels, aren't we? So it's understandable. So if you're really trying to learn about how to build a PC and getting some kind of information, it's not a bad way of doing it. It's really slow, you can catch up with it really easily, and if you've got any questions you can ask them, although chances are your comments will get immediately deleted, especially if they're half sensible questions. But if you're donating money by PayPal or Super Chats, then no doubt they'll get read out. Oh dear. Bootier says, I watch him on 2x speed. That's speed building in Kerry's house. Skystalker says, Kath, do you have a link on the dude that Mike is talking about? Just type in Kerry H in Google and it'll come up. It is hilarious. If you know about PCs or
Watches you on 1.5.
Yeah. If you hey Dick. If you want to have a laugh, watch Kerry's videos, because some of the times he comes out with some absolute corkers and you think, those poor bastards watching this video who are like trying to learn stuff, you think, oh my, well, you have to watch it for yourself, but it's hilarious, but not intentionally. It is very good fun. Tony says, I'd watch any other channel if I wanted to learn what I was doing. Yeah, it's, yeah, if the Verge did PC build videos, which obviously they tried to, but if they did them on a much slower scale, like lot slower, and yeah, just you need to watch it. You really do. It is entertaining. I'll say that.
Oh, I used to wear.
Yeah. Well, Stoney says if you like getting banned for pointing out his many mistakes, then sure. Yeah, I think myself, Tony, Kev for sure, Glenn, British Noob, quite a few other members of our Discord, we've all been banned from Kerry Holzman's chat because of pointing out certain things, let's say. But it's all good fun.
Right, we ready?
Anyway, right, so let's get ready to rumble. Oh damn, that's another 20 quid I gotta give that bloke.
28 commenters.
Right, we had 28 commenters, so we got a 1 in 28 chance of winning these Creative Pebbles.
And can we have a flu drum roll?
A flu drum roll.
Roll, not run.
Just do it, I can't.
God, do it for you.
Silent one.
Go in.
I actually had a pair of drums. Oh, a set of drums actually. I played them for about 2 minutes before Dave next door came round and got upset.
We told him it was George.
Yeah, we blamed it on George.
Craig, hello.
So the winner is Craig Pello. So Craig Pello, if you're in the chat, make yourself known. If you aren't in the chat, then, well, you won't know. We will try and email you or something like that. Craig Pello, that rings a bell. Why does that ring a bell?
Because he won something before.
Captain Meets Adventures, Mike, why don't you and Kerry do a dance off? Wow, that would be bad.
Craig Pele won a Windows key ages ago.
Oh, right, okay.
November.
So Craig has actually been lucky before, and we actually gave him a Windows license key when we did our draw before. So just go show if you want to be in with a chance to win, and all you got to do is enter these giveaways. Should we do the other pebbles as well, Kath, to get rid of them? What do you think? Because we did miss out a week, didn't we? What do you reckon in the chat? Do you reckon should you have another go, and we'll do a giveaway now for the Pebble V1s? What do you reckon? I'll wait for the chat to catch up with what I've just been saying. There is such a lag, it's ridiculous. I thought I put it onto super less lag.
I'm going to have to copy that.
Captain Meets Adventures might give this Mike's Unboxing Surface Pro away. No way. That's going to go to CEX to fund more extravagant purchases. Possibly. Maybe.
I'll put that on Discord.
Michigan Lady says go ahead. Good evening, Michigan Lady. I've not seen you in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Skystalker says, why not? Give stuff away. Yeah, what the hell. Alright, so this is another last minute attempt. If you haven't already entered on the Facebook page or commented, now's the time to do it.
Should I put the link again?
Yeah, go on then. Stick the link in again. We'll give you a couple of minutes. We'll put the link in one more time. This is for not the V2s, because Craig's already won those. So he's got a little bit of time. Well, we've emailed him. Actually, that's one good thing about these giveaways. With the giveaways, like on YouTube, if you win something, they always say, well, if you haven't got in contact with us within 48 hours, we'll redo the draw or whatever. Which to me is like a bit, yeah, okay, whatever. If you're going to win something, like, you should just contact them and say, look, you've won. Give you your address. Anyway, that's what we do. So Kath's literally now just messaged Craig to say...
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, she's about to do it.
I'll do it
at some
at the
point.
end.
Yeah, after the stream should do it. Message him and say, look, you've won this. Can we send it to the same address or whatever it is? It's all good.
Because he had it emailed last time.
Oh yeah, of course he had it emailed, didn't he? Yeah, because it was a Windows license key, wasn't it? Got it. Ghostladder says, I'm not going to enter as I don't need them. I have Razer Kraken V2s and built-in speakers on my desk from B&M. Oh, that's kind of you to let someone else have a go.
Might go to B&M this week.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to go to B&M and buy loads of cheap-ass stuff.
Should we do a vlog?
And get fat.
Should we do a vlog?
Yeah, well, should we vlog it? Should we do a real-life, what's it, IRL blog from B&M, broadcasting live from the supermarket that is Bargains and More?
Maybe home base as well.
Right, so everyone thinks it's a good idea that we should do it, so let's do it. Right, Kath, fire up the random comment picker.
If it picks Craig again, me will have to...
If it's Craig again, we're going to redo it, okay? Because it's not sending in both. Although it would be easier on packaging. So Kath's pressing the button, I think. And there's names spinning around.
Mark Mitchell.
The winner is Mark Mitchell. So Mark Mitchell, if you are in the chat, make yourself known. But you have just won yourself a set of creative pebbles. Sorry, dying. So that's both the creative pebbles gone. That's all the creative speakers gone now, isn't it? Amazing. 1, 2, I think that's still going. Yeah, I think that is back up.
They're asking, can computers catch viruses from us?
I think that's back on now. I think. Is that on?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there we go. Still working. I think. Yay, we're back, I think. Oh dear. Like I said about my AMD system and its unreliability, it just had a weird blue screen of death for some reason. I don't know why. Literally all the PC is doing is literally running this stream with a very, very low CPU overhead. So there's something definitely screwy. And I think I've changed out... I've changed the RAM. I've changed the motherboard. I don't think it'll be the power supply, but I'll have to have a look at the system logs and see what the heck is going on. That sucks. That is... Yeah, because I did a fresh install, didn't I? Not long ago.
Yeah, because I had to buy the code again.
Yeah, because I had to get another license key from premiumcdkeys.com. Mike's Unboxing 5 discount code. I feel like Linus.
But you already had one. But we didn't know which computer it went on.
Yeah. Have I missed anything?
Somebody called CJ said reported for being ugly.
Oh, nice. Very friendly.
Let's just put some peas on her, down her pants.
Oh dear. Okay, so there we go. We've got to, yeah. Well, the system's working, apart from this thing, which is going to have to, it's going to have to go for a little bit of work. I'm not sure what the crash is there. That is quite worrying. Crashes are always a pain in the backside because you never really know where they're coming from. They're really difficult to work out what they are. So I think what we'll do is we'll make a Mike's unboxing and how-to video on how to decipher Windows crash messages in the system event log. That'd be quite an interesting one. And also, I've got to do it anyway because I've got to fix the PC. So we'll take a look at that.
Ghost Adder asked.
Ghost Adder asked what?
Do you ever use?
Yes, Ghost Adder actually, I do use branded power supplies. This one is a Cooler Master GM750. My InWin has got a Silverstone. My Rio Toro I've got down here. CAFS I think is a Be Quiet system builder. The one that I use in the system reviews or the case reviews, the grey one, it's literally like a really old crappy PSU that I pulled out of a build which I was given. It's got one SATA connector on there, so it's perfect because it's useless for pretty much anything else other than testing RGB systems. That is about it. Skystalker says, Mike, did you do a stress test on the machine? AIDA64 for 8 hours is my benchmark. No, I did actually run mem test on it. And what else did I run on it? I only ran mem test for about an hour or so, which isn't really enough. But it's really, really random. I don't know why it's rebooting. I am kind of concerned that it might be the motherboard.
The motherboard reviews.
Because it's only happened since I did the recently I did the BIOS flash, the update, and I reflashed the same BIOS to the board twice. And I don't know whether it was that's caused it. So what I might do is reflash the BIOS or even flash back the BIOS to a previous BIOS to see if that makes a difference. Excuse me. But again, all those sorts of things that we can try in the week when we've got a little bit more time on our hands. So we're going to have a bit of a play and see what's going on. So I may actually, that might actually be the best course of action, to re-download the BIOS file and re-flash it, because the memory stick I was actually having a problem with, and I have actually thrown away that memory stick since, because I tried to install something else on there and it didn't work, so I threw the memory stick in the bin. So potentially it could have been a bad flash, which normally would result in a dead board, but maybe it just wasn't bad enough to cause it to die, but has somehow done something to the BIOS. I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible. I would have thought that a BIOS would have to be complete in order for it to complete the checksum at the end. I don't know enough about it, if I'm completely honest with you. So we'll try that. Yeah, we'll ask Kerry Holzman in his next live stream and see what his opinion is. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps things up. So for those of you who stuck with us for the second part of the stream, thank you all so much. For those of you who donated super chats, again, thank you very much. It isn't required or necessary, but we do thank you very much for that. It all goes towards helping the channel. And everything that we do get given actually does go back into the channel. It's not as if we spend it on frivolous things like cough mixture and antiviral things. We do spend the money back on the channel. We buy things like these, like, well, not that one, but that one. We bought that, motherboards, all sorts of stuff. So it all goes back in and gets recycled. So, happy days. Yeah, thanks all of you that have joined us for the stream. Sorry it's been a little bit sort of nasal and crap and coughing and all that. And sorry that I missed out on the last couple of weeks' ones. But hopefully, touch wood, things are getting back on track. Got a bit of time off, so a bit of downtime. Get myself well, get back into the game, start doing some more unboxings, reviews, and how-tos, which is ironic because that's the name of the channel. But there we go. I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How-To, and hopefully we'll catch all of you in the next live stream. Thank you all for watching. See you later.